Every single evening, right after work, you drag the hose out or flip on the sprinklers and give your lawn a nice light drink. 10, 15 minutes. Feels responsible, feels like good lawn care, and it's one of the worst things you can do to your grass. You're not helping it. You're slowly making it weaker, thirstier, and more likely to die the moment a heat wave hits. Here's the brutal truth. Most people water their lawn completely wrong, and it's not because they're lazy. It's because they're doing the exact opposite of what actually works, and it feels right the whole time. A little water often. That's the instinct, and it's backwards. So today, I'm going to tell you exactly how long you should water your lawn, in actual minutes, not vague advice. I'm going to give you a $2 way to find your exact number because it's different for every yard. And I'm going to show you why watering less often, but longer, will give you a greener, tougher lawn than watering every day ever could. Stick around, because the number most people land on is going to surprise you, and getting it wrong is why your lawn goes brown every July no matter how much you water. And I know how backwards this sounds, so let me say it plainly right up front. Watering your lawn less often will make it greener. Not more often, less. I know that sounds like nonsense, like the opposite of common sense, and that's exactly why almost nobody does it. And almost everybody has a lawn that struggles in summer. By the end of this, you'll understand precisely why less water, delivered the right way, beats more water every single time. It's one of those things that once it clicks, you can't unsee it, and you'll never water the old way again. Before we start, tell me in the comments how often you water right now and roughly what region you're in, because climate changes the numbers, and I read every one of these. And if you like lawn advice where nobody's selling you a $300 irrigation system, hit subscribe. That's the whole channel. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about why the daily light watering is so bad. Because once you understand this, everything else makes sense. When you water a little bit every day, the water only ever soaks into the top inch or two of soil. It never goes deep, and your grass is smart. It grows its roots to wherever the water is. So if the water is always sitting right at the surface, your grass grows shallow little roots that stay right up at the top of the soil. You've trained your lawn to have a shallow root system. Now, here's the problem with that. Those top couple inches of soil are exactly the part that dries out fastest and heats up the most. So the second you skip a day, or the second we get a real hot stretch in summer, that thin top layer bakes dry, and your shallow-rooted grass has nothing to fall back on. It has no deep roots reaching down to the moisture below. So it browns out, it stresses, it dies in patches. And you look at that and think, I need to water even more. So you water more, keep the roots shallow, and make the whole problem worse. That's the trap millions of people are stuck in. Now compare that to deep, infrequent watering. When you water deeply, really soaking the soil, the moisture penetrates down 6 to 8 inches, and your grass chases it. It grows long, deep roots reaching way down into the soil. And a lawn with deep roots is a completely different animal. It can survive heat, it can survive a missed watering, it can survive drought, because it's pulling moisture from deep down where the soil stays cool and damp long after the surface has baked dry. Deep roots are the single biggest factor in whether your lawn survives the summer. Not how much you water, how deep. And let me give you the actual numbers because they're striking. Shallow, daily watering keeps your roots up in the top 2 to 3 inches of soil. That's it. That's all the deeper they'll ever go because that's where the water is. But deep, infrequent watering pushes those roots down to 6 to 8 inches. That's 2 to 3 times deeper. Think about what that means during a heat wave. The lawn with roots at 2 inches is living in the exact layer of soil that turns to dust first. The lawn with roots at 8 inches is tapping into cool, moist soil that the heat hasn't even touched yet. Same grass, same yard, completely different survival story, and the only difference is how you train the roots with your watering. One of these lawns makes it through August green. The other one is the patchy brown mess you see all over the neighborhood every summer. So the entire game is this: water deeply and water less often. You want to force those roots down, And the way you do that is by giving the lawn a big drink, then letting the surface dry out a little before the next one, so the roots have a reason to go hunting for water down deep. Okay, so how much water are we actually talking about? Here's the number, and it's the foundation of everything. Your lawn needs about 1 to 1.5 inches of water per week, total, including rain. That's it. That's the magic number that almost every lawn across almost every region needs during the growing season. 1 inch up to 1.5 in real summer heat. And you do not deliver that inch by sprinkling a little every day. You deliver it in 2 deep sessions a week. Sometimes 3 in extreme heat, but 2 is the sweet spot for most lawns. 2 good soakings a week, about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch each time, adds up to your inch, drives your roots deep, and lets the surface dry between waterings so you don't invite disease. 2 sessions, not 7. Write that down. And real quick, if this is already changing how you think about watering, tap that like button. It genuinely helps push this in front of more people who are out there right now soaking their lawn every single evening and wondering why it still goes brown. That's all I'll ask. Now, the question everyone actually came here for, how many minutes is that? And here's where I have to be honest with you, because anyone who gives you a flat number is lying or guessing. The exact minutes depend entirely on your sprinkler, because different sprinklers put out wildly different amounts of water. A fixed spray head dumps water fast. A rotary or rotor head that sweeps back and forth puts out water much more slowly. So the same inch of water might take 20 minutes with one sprinkler and 70 minutes with another. If I just told you 30 minutes, I'd be wrong for half of you. And on top of the sprinkler difference, your grass type shifts the number too. Cool season grasses like fescue and bluegrass want more water and lean toward the higher end, that 1.5 inches in summer. Warm season grasses like Bermuda and Zosia have naturally deeper roots and get by on a bit less, closer to 1 inch or even a touch under. And the seasons flip it. Cool season grass drinks most in spring and fall. Warm season grass drinks most in the peak of summer. So the honest answer to how long should I water is it depends on your sprinkler, your grass, your soil, and your weather. Which sounds like a cop-out until you realize there's one simple test that cuts through all of it and just hands you your number. But don't worry, because there's a dead simple test that gives you your exact number, and it costs you basically nothing. It's called the tuna can test, and it's the single most useful $2 trick in all of lawn care. Here's how you do it. Grab a few empty, shallow cans. Tuna cans are perfect because they're about 1 inch tall, but any short, straight-sided container works. Spread 4 to 6 of them around your lawn in the area one sprinkler covers. Some close to the sprinkler, some near the edge of its reach. Then turn your sprinkler on and run it for exactly 15 minutes. Now go check the cans, grab a ruler, and measure how deep the water is in each one, and average them out. That number tells you how much water your sprinkler puts down in 15 minutes. And now you can do simple math. Say your cans averaged 1/4 inch in 15 minutes. That means to get 1/2 inch per session, you run your sprinkler 30 minutes. To hit that in 15, you'd know it's putting out fast. It's that simple. 15 minutes and a tuna can, and you know your exact watering time for the rest of your life in that yard. No more guessing. And the beauty of the tuna can test is it also shows you 2 other things instantly. First, if some cans have way more water than others, your sprinkler coverage is uneven. And that's exactly why you get random dry patches no matter how long you water. Second, a huge number of people discover they've been drastically overwatering, running their system for an hour when 25 minutes would have done it. So this one test can literally cut your water bill and fix your lawn at the same time. Now, I want to pause for just a second because everything I'm walking you through here, the stuff that actually works instead of the stuff that feels right, is exactly what this whole channel is built on. I've spent the last 10 years figuring out lawns, and most of what I've learned doesn't fit into a single video. So I put all of it, everything, into one place over at backyardverdict.com. The full picture, start to finish, laid out simply. If this video is helping you, that's where the rest of it lives. Go check it out, backyardverdict.com. All right, back to it. Because when you water is almost as important as how long. Let's talk timing, because you can have the perfect number of minutes and still waste half of it if you water at the wrong time of day. The best time to water your lawn is early morning. Between about 4 and 9 in the morning, ideally before the sun gets high. And there are two solid reasons for this. First, evaporation. When you water in the morning while it's still cool, the water actually soaks into the soil and gets to the roots. When you water in the middle of a hot afternoon, a huge chunk of it just evaporates off into the air before it ever reaches the roots. You're literally watering the sky. On a hot day, you can lose a big fraction of your water to evaporation, which means you're paying for water your lawn never even drinks. Second, disease. This is the one people don't think about. When you water in the evening or at night, the grass stays wet and cool for hours in the dark. And wet grass sitting in the dark all night is a perfect breeding ground for fungus and lawn disease. Morning watering lets the sun come up and dry the grass blades off through the day, so the lawn isn't sitting damp. So evening watering is a double loss. Actually, night watering is the worst option of all. So the rule is simple. Early morning, deep soak, twice a week. That combination does more for your lawn than any fertilizer or fancy product you can buy. And how do you know if you're getting the balance wrong in either direction? Your lawn actually tells you if you know what to look for. An underwatered lawn takes on a dull bluish-gray tint before it browns, and when you walk across it, your footprints stay pressed down instead of springing back because the blades don't have enough moisture to bounce. That's your early warning to water before it goes brown. An overwatered lawn, on the other hand, feels spongy underfoot, may smell a little sour, often grows mushrooms or gets patches of fungus, and weeds like nutsedge move in because they love the constant wet. So before you assume you need more water, read the signs. A shocking number of people who think their lawn needs more are actually drowning it. Learn to tell the difference and you'll never overcorrect. Now let me hit a few specific situations, because I know you've got questions. What about clay soil? Clay absorbs water slowly, so if you blast it with a half-inch all at once, it'll just run off and pool instead of soaking in. For clay, use what's called the cycle and soak method. Instead of one 30-minute run, do 3 10-minute runs with a break in between to let it absorb. Same total water, but it actually gets into the ground instead of running down the driveway. Sandy soil is the opposite. It drains fast, so it may need a third session in the week. What about new grass and fresh seed? Totally different rules. Brand new seed needs the opposite of everything I just said. It needs light, frequent watering to keep the surface damp, because a germinating seed that dries out once is dead. So if you're establishing a new lawn, you water lightly a couple times a day until it's up and growing, and only then do you switch to the deep and frequent schedule. Deep and infrequent is for established lawns. And what about rain? Rain counts towards your inch. This is huge, and people ignore it. If you got an inch of rain this week, you don't need to water at all. Set it and forget it timers that run, no matter what the weather did, are one of the biggest sources of waste and overwatering out there. A cheap rain gauge, or honestly just paying attention, saves you from watering a lawn that's already had plenty. Here's a great way to check whether you're getting it right. And it's free. After you water, take a screwdriver and push it into the soil. If it slides in easily and comes out with moist soil clinging to it about 6 inches down, you water deeply enough. If it stops short or comes out dry, you didn't put down enough, run it longer next time. That screwdriver is a free moisture meter, and it tells you the truth about whether your water is actually getting down to where the roots need it. So let me give you the honest verdict, the whole thing in order. Your lawn needs 1 to 1.5 inches of water a week, and not a drop of it should come from daily light sprinkles. Deliver it in 2 deep sessions, early in the morning, letting the surface dry between them so the roots dive deep and the grass doesn't sit wet and get sick. For the exact minutes, run the tuna can test. Set out a few cans, run your sprinkler 15 minutes, measure, and do the math to hit a ½ inch per session. That one test replaces all the guessing and is different for every yard, which is exactly why nobody can give you a single magic number. Adjust for your soil, cycle and soak on clay, an extra session on sand. Count the rain, and use the screwdriver test to confirm you're actually soaking deep. Do that, and here's what happens. Your grass grows deep roots, it stops browning out every time it gets hot, it survives the stretches when you forget or you're on vacation, and your water bill very likely goes down because most people were overwatering the whole time. Less effort, less money, better lawn. That's the trade you're getting. And if you take one single thing from this video, take this. Watering your lawn a little bit every day feels like the caring thing to do, and it's actually the thing that's keeping your lawn weak. Water it like you mean it, twice a week, deep in the morning. Then leave it alone and let those roots go hunting. A lawn that has to reach for its water is a lawn that survives anything. So now I want to hear from you. How often have you been watering, and did any of this surprise you? Be honest, were you an everyday sprinkler like most people? And if you've already switched to deep and infrequent, tell everyone what it did for your lawn, because real results from real yards convince people more than anything I can say. Drop your region too, so folks nearby can compare. And if this saved you from overwatering and running up your bill all summer, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this reach more people about to drown their lawns this week. Share it with the neighbor whose sprinklers run every single evening. And remember, everything I've learned about lawns in 10 years is waiting for you at backyardverdict.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.